Hello everybody, I hope you are with me this time. Hey, Nisi Black, lifestyle, career catalyst, relationship strategist. I am excited to be with you, and let me tell you what, I hate being late, because guess what happened? Remember last time when I did the midweek motivation and mind check, and I did this whole thread for about 25 or 30 minutes and then went to click finish and there was nothing. It said this old funky message that my videos had to be 4 seconds or longer. Well, it happened to me this time, and it is what? 11:06. So I've been playing with this iPhone for 6 whole freaking minutes. Hey, Cheryl. Well, I'm glad to be here this time. Thank you guys. I appreciate you taking time out with me on this midweek motivation and mind check. And hey, it's Wednesday. It is a beautiful day, a little overcast here in Oklahoma. Hi, Lori. Thanks for joining me, darling. And our weather has been really strange here. It's been up, it's been down. I am battling a head cold, but it's so much better now between the nasal sprays and the sinus medicine and the allergy stuff. And it's getting a little bit better, but I'm going to enjoy the beautiful day that we have today. We're supposed to get some ice and some sleet and some rain this weekend, and I am not looking forward to that. So here we are in the middle of the week, hump day. It's Wednesday. Check to see how you are doing. Hello, Miss Queen Bee. Thank you for joining me, darling. Midweek and motivation and mind check is about checking to see where we are in our space. It's about looking at where we started at the beginning of the week, make sure things are still in alignment and that we're still on task for achieving everything that we set out to do. Check our planners, check our thought process, our mindset, even those people that came along to throw us off course or those situations that kind of ticked us off a little bit. Let's bounce back from that and stay on course with what it is that we want to do. And I am still working on my book, putting the final touches for the final formatting. And it got me to thinking about, when I was writing my epilogue and doing the summary, about passion and how people perceive passion in their life or in their career or in their business or whatever it is that you want to do with your time. And passion is really all about the energy that you apply to whatever it is. You can have a passion for anything. It does not necessarily mean that that is your purpose. You can have a passion for abused women, and you want to do something to help support that effort. So when you start looking at passion and what it is that you want to accomplish, the things that you want to go for in your life, you got to measure the amount of energy that you're willing to bring to that thing. So one of the first things is looking at your why behind what it is that you're passionate about. What is it that your passion is going to dictate in that specific thing, in your specific purpose, in that specific goal that you want to achieve? What is your why behind it? And what does it look like and feel like to you? Because sometimes passion alone is not enough. That energy alone is not enough to sustain you when trials come, or when chaos break out, or when things don't go the way you intended them to. Passion sometimes is not enough. And even when things come along that you're really passionate about and you really want to be involved in, if you're not careful, they can end up feeling like a chore, like something that you got to do, a weight of sorts. So realize that while you can have the passion for something, if your specific why and the needs that you have behind it are not met, that passion can turn into a negative thing for you, and it gets you to feeling some kind of way about it. That energy begins to diminish, and you begin to feel like, well, maybe this is not a passionate thing for me after all. So be careful with how you throw your energy around and what you apply your energy to. Look at your purpose and make sure that your passion and the energy you're bringing to that purpose is there. Consider the course of action that you are going to take in meeting and sustaining your passion, right? So it's not just about the why, but what is your goal? What is your plan? What is your specific course of action that you're invested in and committed to, and have the mindset that you're going to stick with it by hook or by crook, or by applause or no applause, the sunny days, the rainy days, the not feeling like it, the want to feel like it. There's a lot of things and ups and downs on the journey to achieving your purpose and making your destiny part of your reality that you got to attend to, and you got to do so realistically. A lot of times we jump out there because we're excited to do something, and that excitement and that energy is a good thing. But when the wind blows, you don't do it anymore. It runs its course, and you're not excited or energetic about it anymore. So I love the word passion, and I love the energy that it brings, but I want you to be realistic and really search and explore yourself for what that looks like for you, and whether or not you have the ability to stick it out during the hard times. Does that make sense? Sticking it out during the hard times. When passion alone is not enough to sustain you, understand your why behind it. What is the purpose intended for that? What is your course of action that you're going to stay with, that you're committed to? And do you have the perseverance that you need to follow it through, to see it through? When passion alone is not enough to sustain your next step, what are you going to do? What are you going to really, what are you going to do about it? How are you going to energize yourself again? How are you going to push past that momentary doubt or frustration? How are you going to step up to the game and realize that there's going to be highs? Hi, Dr. Jatan. Thank you for joining me, darling. There are going to be highs. There are going to be lows. There are going to be in between where you don't see yourself moving forward. You don't see yourself moving back. You may feel a little bit stuck, but you're making minimal progress. What are you going to do to energize yourself in that moment? Now, see, a lot of times, now I've got my notes here, a lot of times when we want something so bad, we jump out there, and if it doesn't work right away or immediately show results that we want, then we have a tendency to question whether or not what we're doing is our purpose or is what is meant to be, and the passion fades. So what you got to do in those moments is resist the urge to take shortcuts. Resist the urge to set it on the shelf and let it collect dust. Resist the urge and the tendency to skip and go do something else. Because a lot of times when things don't turn out the way we want, we'll lay that aside and we'll go try something else. And what happens is we don't get to the point of having something completed or having something accomplished or seeing something through to the end. And that leads to frustration, and it leads to this wavy, wishy-washy type of mindset. Well, passion alone is not enough to sustain that. You got to have some intention. You got to have some perseverance, and you got to have some type of plan of action, some type of direction or course that you're going to set, something that you can anchor onto so that you can stick with it during the long term. So sometimes passion is not enough. You got to understand the why behind it. You got to have your goal. You got to have your plan of action to achieve that goal. And you got to have the stick-to-itness to see it all the way through. So when you feel like nothing is happening in your life or in your business as an entrepreneur or in your career, in your job, just stick with it. Realize the highs and the lows are going to be there, and accept that as part of the process. Accept it as part of the process and stay with it. Find the space of energy that you started out with in the beginning. In the beginning, you were gung-ho. You were ready to go. Make some things happen. kicking butt and taking names. Find that energy again. What was it that was so exciting about this thing? And tap back into that. Don't let it go. There is so much that can be achieved when you stick with it, right? When you stick with it. I'm truly trying. That's a good thing, but don't stop. Be encouraged and tap into what it was that excited you about it in the beginning. And that might take you really being honest with yourself. What was your why behind starting it in the first place? What did you want to gain out of it? What did you want to see happen as a result of this thing? As a result of walking in that passion or doing what that passion called for? So let me give you an example. A lot of times people want to be an entrepreneur. They want to start living their purpose and they want to go out there and they want to get started. So what do? They quit their job. They quit their job and don't have any income built up to sustain the startup of a business. They will walk away from the means to an end to start something new when they don't have anything in the reserve. And then what happens is that frustration and starting to build that business and the things and the resources that you need to sustain paying the bills and eating and keeping the lights on and paying the car note, those resources are stretched. So you start questioning whether or not this was your purpose or your passion to begin with. So I'm never a proponent of just walking away and not having a plan of action to sustain you along the way. And being an entrepreneur is a good thing, and maybe that is your purpose and your passion. But be realistic in the process that it will take to you to get to that point, to get to being a sustainable business on your own, so that you have recurring income, so that you have a steady flow of clients to pay the bills. It doesn't mean that that is not your purpose or your passion. It just means that because you have no resources surrounding that dream or that purpose, it begins to feel like a weight. It begins to lead to an area of frustration for you. So really sit down and think about what it is that you're doing, how it is that you're going to do it, what it looks like, and map out a strategy for having what it is that you want and seeing that purpose come to life. And be realistic. I'm a realistic type of person. And I've had opportunities where I just jumped out there all willy-nilly, thinking I got it going on and connecting myself with people, places, and things, and got excited because I was caught up in the heat of the moment. And after the dust settled, I was kicking myself because it really did not align with what I needed or what I wanted. And I did not think it through and did not have a course of action. I was caught up in the excitement and the energy of the passion, but I did not have a realistic plan of action behind it. So, like I said, I'm a realistic type of person, and I believe in planning. I believe in thinking through and looking at the results that I expect to gain and how everything will line up. And I believe in having not just a plan A, but a B, C, D, E, F, G, all the way up to Z, because I am flexible enough to know that things are going to happen and situations are going to change. And I'm going to grow and I'm going to learn some new things, and I'm going to be able to put systems and stuff in place that will further my growth and further my vision and maintain that passion. So it doesn't mean that I'm not committed to that plan A. Be flexible enough to realize when you don't need to be beating your head up against a wall that is not working. Be flexible enough to take a step back and say, let me look at this a different way. Let me change my perspective and see how else I can make this work, or what else I can tweak so that I can get that end result that I want. Does that make sense? Because passion alone is not going to sustain you. I don't care if it is your business. I don't care if it is your relationship. I don't care if it is. I mean, it's just like saying that love is the ruler of all things. Yes, love matters, but love is not going to pay those bills. When you are beating your head up against the wall, love will sustain what you want, in the fact that it will give you the energy and give you the confidence to know, I'm going to stick this out. I'm going to hang in the right direction. But you've got to put some goal and some intention behind that love, behind that passion, and you've got to act on it. You've got to act on it, and act in a manner that is realistic to what it is that you want that outcome to be. Looking at the resources that you have that you can put in place to sustain you and to keep you energized along the way. Even in those moments where you have doubt, or even in those moments where things don't go according to plan, even in those moments where you feel all alone and nothing is working and you want to throw your hands up, you've got to have something to sustain the energy and the passion and the love and the heart and the commitment behind it. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense to you guys. So, yes, be passionate, but also be intentional. Don't take shortcuts. Put a plan of action in place and set your goals. Have a target out there, a target that you're aiming for, right? And let's see, what else did I want to share with you? That was it. I am feeling so much better. My head is clear. My heart is clear. And I'm doing good. I want you guys to do good too. I want you to have everything that you desire, everything that your heart desires. I want it to not just feel good internally. I want it to look good internally. I want your eyes to light up, and I want there to be a bounce in your step. I want there to be an energetic presence when you step in the room, because you know deep within that your promises are coming to pass. Hi, Reverend Brooks. Thanks for joining me. I want you to know within that you don't just have the passion, but you have the know-how, that you have the strength, that you have the energy, that you have the love, that you have the commitment, that you have the intention, that you have the fortitude to stick it out. Right? That's what it's about. In your life, in your business, in your marriage, in your relationship, in your friendships, in your whatever it is that you decide to invest your time into. We're not going to be complacent. It don't have to look like anything to anybody else, but it has to mean and look like and be everything to you. This is your thing. This is personal. This is personal. This is personal. Did I say it was personal? Yeah, it's personal, right? So I'm good. I hope you're good too. I want you guys to enjoy the rest of your Wednesday and the rest of your week. Make sure that you're subscribed to my lives. If you're not, make sure that you're sharing these scopes so that other people can be inspired, motivated to change, and put the action behind their intention to do something greater, to do something better. And I also posted a link at the beginning of this that I will share to download your copy of Stamped with Inspiration. That's a few quotes and excerpts that I took out of my book, my new book, Self-Approved, A Guide for Authentic and Purposeful Living. That will be coming out next month. Yay! I'm so excited. I am so diligently working behind the scenes to bring this labor of love out for you guys. And I want you to celebrate with me, and I thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you hanging in there with me. So be inspired, be motivated, but most importantly, be in action, right? Because that's the only thing that's gonna change, that's gonna create change, is to put some action behind it. So you guys have a beautiful week. I love you dearly, and thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you guys a little bit later. Have a great day.